Hello, this video I'm going to talk about my Empire Challenge. Okay, let's go. Just want to say thanks to Josh and David at the Crown of Command Discord and YouTube channel. I think it's Fifth Hammer for David, who run the Call of the Crown Painting Challenge. This is the fourth one, I do believe, and the first one I've entered. And it has been absolutely wonderful to see everyone's contributions and progress that I've been doing as the challenge has progressed each month. With it completed now, I can just sit back and relax and enjoy this army, then see how it does in the battlefield in various games. I'm not going to leave it hero. I had planned initially just to leave it at this 1,000 points, but I've enjoyed it so much that I'm going to be a glutton for punishment and add more to the force. I've got plans to add a unit of great swords, archers, spearmen, steam tank, mortar, hellblaster volley gun, and a unit of pistoliers, and maybe another wizard or so. And that should bring the force then to a nice 2,000 points, and also give me a bit of variety in what I can field. I had planned to stick to like a Stillmania, so I'll keep just this force, but I think expand to 2,000 points will be a nice sort of nice point, shall we say? Not point, sorry. A nice points to have access to. So with the challenge done, time to talk about any challenges faced with it. Really, not really, because I planned ahead. I knew that February was going to be a smaller month, so I planned to have a less to paint for that month, which was the Great Cannon, the Battle Bearer, and the Mounted Wizard. And then the rest of the months were just 10 missile troops, 5 knights, and a Grandmaster. The big one was the 25 halberdiers. That was the big one to get through for the month of, I think it was January I did them. So with that, knowing what I was going to paint each month, it meant I didn't have that feeling of being pressured into the month or dread of being cut short with regard to time constraints. So pre-planning allowed me to avoid a lot of the pitfalls I might have fallen into in the challenge if I hadn't have organised it properly. I'm trying to show the halberdiers here. There they are. And the biggest issue I found was painting the 9 monopose plastic halberdiers. You can just see there in the middle. They're great for unit fillers, and then have the outsides with all the more elaborate posed halberdier models. It's a good way to hide the monotonous look of 10 guys in the same pose. When you zoom out, you can't really see them there, just see their feathers and the top of the halberds. So it's a nice way to hide them. So like I say, going forward, this force will be expanded, so you will see more on the channel of painting progress for Empire 4th edition. And then when the challenge starts again later on in the year, I'm going to do either orcs and goblins, dark elves, or maybe some high elves. I have got some plastic high elf models and plastic goblins. They're from the old 4th edition starter set, which was high elves versus orcs and goblins. I would love to do an all goblin force, but painting that many goblins would, I think, drive me insane because it's just, this was hard enough. If I try to keep to the same standard, it's a lot of goblins. I know I can plan ahead and organize it month by month, but we're talking units of 30, maybe 40 goblins, so it's a bit more to paint. But anyway, that's this force done for now. And as I said, it was inspired by the 5th edition reprint of the 4th edition Empire Army book, which had a getting started 1,000 point list, which I will show you now. So this was the initial 1,000 points from the Collecting the Empire Army in the back of the 5th edition reprint of the Empire Army book. As you can see, I went for a few changes, namely going for a different order of knights, Basmer on foot, and I've increased the size of the halberdiers from 16 to 25, and that still kept it within the 1,000 points. The other interesting thing they did was they did a roster sheet, which gave you all the stats and points of the part of that 1,000 point list. Now what I could do is I could photocopy that, edit what's different to my list in this list, and then I could just print it out and then use that for my 1,000 point list going forward. There's another point that's different. Halberdiers have shields apparently in the list, mine do not, so that saved a few more points as well, which is why I can afford to have 25, not 16. Same with the Battle Bearer being on foot. And I think I'd remove the Rune Fangs. That's a bit powerful for 1,000 point force, I do believe. So, there we have 1,000 points there. And here we have the full Studio Empire army, which is the Grand Army of the Empire, where every unit was from a different state or different province, and it gave the overall look a very colourful feel to it. I've tried to recreate that as best I can, just going for different states and provinces and different order of knights. But it was a great inspiration to get this sort of feel for my force when it's all finished. And I'm halfway there now. I've done the first 1,000 points, and like I said before, I will be expanding to about 2,000 points of this Empire force. When the challenge is done again, I might go for Orcs and Goblins, which will be a lot different in regards to the number of models I'm painting. This is quite a small force. An Orcs and Goblin force, which leans heavily into Goblins, will be a horde. So we'll see a lot of models painted each month. But it will give the force a nice contrast to play against. And again, I'll probably enjoy that, so I might expand that then to a 2,000 point force. So in the coming months, you'll see more Empire being painted on the challenge, and then hopefully some games being played. And then when the challenge starts again later on in the year, you'll see some Orcs and Goblins hopefully added to my painting tablet. Painting table rather, sorry. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, as always, leave a comment below, and I'll catch you later.